What up, big dog?
What's going on, brother?
Been a minute.
I know, man. It really has.
You've been jet set living.
Doing what I can, I guess.
Hey, look, I want to show one thing before we even get into this. And you know what it is, probably, don't you?
I think I do. Hey, thank you, Brady. I love that intro. I was in here just jamming out to that shit.
It is good. It is good. Appreciate that.
Yeah, Craig came up with it.
I mean, you know,
All the credit to you on that one.
musically inclined genius, wishful thinking.
Nah, you are.
Anyway, all right. Good to be back. It's been a minute since we've done one of these. Same old shit, right? Trade review, Q&A, chop it up, talk about some stuff that's been on our minds, summer trading, you know, stuff like that. So
right.
Let's just do this intro thing and get to it, as the kids say.
That's right.
Okay, so we're almost done with June. So technically, we're in this summer trading phase that gets thrown around quite a bit. But I'm a contrarian, aka devil's advocate. I don't think it's been that slow.
Hey, I think it's been fine, man. I've been doing okay.
I think there's plenty of opportunities daily, especially for the summertime. There's been a couple days here and there where there's only a few things popping up. But I have seen many days in the past where literally nothing pops up. So I don't think it's been that bad. And if I hear one more read, tweet, oh, this market sucks, liquidity is dried up. How many stocks did we see this week in small caps trading 100 million in volume, 50 million plus in dollar volume? Like, come on. Come on.
There's plenty to trade.
And I know some of the system guys, like, it is what it is. And if you have a system, sometimes you just got to sit on your hands. But this market has not just completely dried up and not presented opportunities. Not to say I'm not winning or losing. I'm doing some of both per usual. But the opportunity to win or lose is there. That's all I'm saying.
I agree with you.
So
what were you going to show? I want to see it.
You already know. You want me to start off with it? I'll start off with it.
Let me see it.
Wait. Oh, what I was going to show before the intro?
I don't know. What were you talking about?
This right here. The intro.
Oh, shit. That's right.
Because our intro is freaking amazing.
It damn sure is.
But I mean, I'll show the one chart that we talked about before we started this. I'll go ahead and show it and just
No. We can wait. It's all good. I just I didn't know which one you were talking about. You had me all excited about it, man.
Got to show one of them, right?
Yeah, let's see it.
Okay, let's do it. Let's see it. Dude, you know how many DMs I got about this?
Oh, man. Hey, I love it. I love it.
Stupid amount of DMs. Oh, just keep adding, bro. Oh, just keep adding. You're going to blow up. Blah, 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 blah. They have no idea if these arrows are 1 share, 10 shares, 100, 1,000, 10,000. You don't know. But what I will say is those... Let me go move my mouse to the right thing so I can talk about that. So, no, okay. First of all, disclosure. I wasn't happy with this trade. I said that. I was transparent about it. I said it in the room. I was even telling a couple guys in the room beforehand that I was like, yeah, I'm in it. I ain't happy about it. I've traded it like shit. I don't normally trade pre-market. This is why. I feel like anytime I trade pre-market, I regret it. I don't like it. Anyway, I was at this point, these two arrows, I'm like, for me, I'm half an R in, which I'm okay with that pre-market. I don't normally trade a lot pre-market, so I keep the size small. At this point, I'm full sized. You know, this is full size for what I was planning to take. Locates were readily available. They were cheap. I located more. And I just essentially almost doubled up here. Not quite, almost. And at this point, this is when I text you and said, if this thing clears this pre-market high by like 3 cents, that is a max ticker L. Not a max loss on the day, but you know what?
Just so you know, I didn't realize this was the one you were. I didn't know what you were talking about. I thought you were just going to show something else, but I didn't realize it was this one.
No, yeah,
I wasn't trying to put you on blast, man.
No, it's all good. I'll put it out there. Good, bad, ugly, whatever.
I like it.
What up, Dean?
Mean Dean.
And, you know, for the record, like I said, I don't trade a lot pre-market. I've been adamant about that. I'm pretty outspoken about that. I'm not a big pre-market trader. But this thing, part of the reason I got involved, which looks to be early, it was already up like hundreds of percent at this point. This thing was up from like, what, 10 cents roughly is what that looks like? I mean, this thing was up around, what, 400% right here? So I'm like, in my mind, I got FOMO, right? I was afraid. I mean, this thing's up 400%. I'm like, dude, this could be 100% trade type. You know, I'm just FOMO bug got me is all that was. Anyway, doubled up here. Not quite doubled up, pretty damn close. And that's when I texted you. I was like, if this thing clears this pre-market high by, I think it was 3 cents, maybe a little bit more, max ticker L. And fortunately, because locates were cheap and readily available, when it had this huge, I mean, look at this. Now, granted, this is a low price ticker. We all know that. This thing was at this point trading at $1 or just under. But even so, in the first, this is a 5-minute chart, but in the first, 5 minutes, I think in the first 2 minutes, I had traded 9 million in volume. That's pretty spectacular despite the price. Like,
not possible. It's summer market, man.
Yes, there it is. But I mean, tons of volume in the first 2 minutes. And when I seen it fail on that huge volume, I got pretty excited because that's, you and I have done this together for a long time. That's one of the things I'm looking for is that huge failed rotation, write it open. And that's what we got. So when I saw that, I added in to try to make up for some of my earlier discretions. And I added pretty heavy, which is why I took off pretty quick because I was a little heavier than I had liked. Did spike up here. I even told Jet right here. I was like, I'm sweating. Like I was my I was gripping my chest. Like I'm usually not in a position like this. I don't usually feel these type of emotions. But anyway, this one just took me out of my comfort zone a little. Ended up working out, right? Took some off. Actually recycled some on the bounce. Took more off. Finished off here. And this actually turned out to be a pretty big win because of the amount of size I was in it. Am I thrilled about it? Hell no. Like, yeah, the P&L's great. But the trading part of it and how I traded it, like this is what can form account breaking habits.
Dude, I know, man. And I still have bad habits too. I try to, put it out there when I do. And that's why I appreciate you doing it. You know what I mean? Because regardless of how good your system or your discretion or whatever is, it's like you can always, I find myself sometimes I'll be just doing stuff I know I shouldn't be doing, and I'm like, damn it, man, why am I doing this? It's like next thing you know, it's like, oh, I was only gonna lose $300. It's like next thing you know, I'm down 1,000. I'm like, oh my god, what am I doing? You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, and that's why we have at least you and I have a max ticker loss in place, and then a daily max loss in place to like protect us from us type of thing. Because seriously, like, had this thing went above pre-market high by just 3 or 4 cents, out. Done. Like,
Man,
anyway.
the broker max loss is just, I know we just talk about it so much, but damn, it's important. Like,
Oh, dude.
There's been days where, like, in the past where I would just absolutely destroy like half a year's worth of work. I mean,
I think everybody, I don't care how. So, one trader who I've learned a lot from, I look up to, I think he's smart as hell. Michael Good, one of the smartest guys I've ever talked to, whatever. Like, he is freaking smart, great traders, made a bunch of money. He just last year, I think, on some of those Chinese plays, not even top, it was like Huddy and ILAG, took a 600K loss. And he's put it out there. So I'm not saying anything he hadn't put out there.
He was just talking about it either today or yesterday, how he was still digging himself out of like a massive hole.
Yeah, so he didn't have a broker max loss, and he does now. And ever since then, he's like, I'll never trade without it again. And that's a seasoned guy who's been trading small caps for a long time, longer than I have. He's been at it a while. So yeah, I mean, the hard stops, the max broker loss, anyway,
ILAG took like a lot of people out of the game. Like,
it did.
I mean, I remember seeing people, I don't remember who it was, but somebody that was pretty well known, some guy, I remember him being like, well, I've lost like 75% of my net worth today. I'm deleting my Twitter. I was like, damn.
It was nasty.
Hey, I've done that before. I've lost 100% of my net worth before.
Yeah. Like, so this could have been nasty, right? But I mean, we have the max loss settings in place, and that for me is why I have my max losses in place, but it's not in place to it's in place to prevent destruction, right? Or to protect you from you, but it's also not set so low that like a single loss on a trade takes me out of the game for the day. That's not what it's for. For me, I got it set a little bit higher to, but anyway, this would have been a ticker max loss. Ended up working out of it. But again, this isn't something I'm not mad. If you take away pre-market from this trade, I am thrilled with it. Thrilled. Love the trading of this after pre-market. It's the pre-market that bothers me. And I really need to go back to just not trading pre-market. I don't know why the hell I'm even trying. But anyway.
Yeah, you know what works for you and you know what doesn't,
Yeah, and pre-market trading for me doesn't work. And sometimes I shoot a shot with it. The only time I really have success with it really is more on like day 2 stuff. But anyway. So yeah, started off today with a bang.
That's right.
Is what it is, man. It happens. And I know I texted you about it. I told some guys in the room I was in it before it worked out into my favor. So if I'd have taken the loss, I would have it is what it is. You are 100% correct. They do not.
It damn sure doesn't.
So that ticker max loss for me would have been when I took that last ad right at open. If it had broke above pre-market high after open, that's when it would have taken me out. But yeah, you're absolutely right. And that's why people can get wrecked in pre-market and after hours, because things can skip up like crazy and there's no stops to help you. This is my favorite setup in trading small cap. Did you leave us, Brady? Did you leave the small cap world? Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah, dude, me and Brady, we trade futures and stuff. I mean, I still trade small caps, but Brady, he's a good trader.
Yeah, I've been seeing some of his I see your future execution charts, and all I know is red above green or whatever colors y'all have, and I see the color arrow above, and then I'm like, okay, good, that's good. So
yeah, dude, Brady's good, man. I like Brady. He comes by the house whenever he's in town.
I know. I see y'all hanging out back.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
All right. Well, I got my ugly one out of the way.
I mean, I traded that one too, but I longed it.
Yeah, I know. Only temporary. Yeah, come back to the dark side.
Oh, he will. Hey, I mean, in that long, I mean, it was a good trade, but it wasn't on like a bunch of size. It wasn't like some huge win, man. I was trading out of town for my laptop, so I was just kind of like, I mean.
Ooh, do you have that picture where you were trading from the laptop in the ocean?
Dude, that's what I thought you were talking about earlier. I was like,
no, I should have got that. Damn it.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to put you on blast with that. Let me see here.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
dude.
why? Do you want me to show another chart while you're hunting that?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna show one more that I have shown this setup many times over. It's my favorite setup, or one of my favorite setups. I've said on here before, time and time and time again, the old gap and crap, or at least that's what I attempt to call this. Like, in my opinion, especially for new traders, I've said it before, I'll say it again. If you can memorize this one type of pattern, you could literally eat off of this pattern. It doesn't present itself every day. Usually you get a few of these a week, unless things really, really die down. But these gap and craps, like, they've been money. And this one's a little different. Normally my ideal gap and crap, this is all the pre-market chop, right? Couple nice tops. Ideally, what I'd like to see on a gap and crap is right before open, it fade pretty hard. And then within the first hour, 30 minutes is even more ideal. It spikes up to purple for me is VWAP, spikes up to that purple line, hits this right, in this area. It might not wick to VWAP exactly, but in that area, I usually give it 4 or 5% above VWAP, and then it just rejects super hard off of it. Ideally within the first hour of open, and like you could risk 5% to make 15. I usually go for 3 to 1 on these, and I love them. I can't get enough of these setups. I'm trying to convert sellers to trade these setups.
Yeah, dude. I'm wanting to start trading those more. That's a good ass setup.
Now this one's a little different because this one didn't open as weak. So if they don't open as weak, this is pretty close to VWAP. If they're this close to VWAP, of course, I still took my first entry there. But at that point, I'm going to risk pre-market high. When VWAP and pre-market high is that close together, I still have plenty of data to show that there is an edge in that regard, in that realm with, pre-market high, not breaking, all that type of stuff. I've shown some Excel sheets and pages of data, but pretty good conviction. Now, I would have liked to have gotten an ad, and I was predicting like kind of a fake breakout like we like to hit that I wanted to add into. We didn't get that. And I tried to add right in here on the way down, and I didn't get executed, and it was fast, and then I didn't chase it. Once it broke below VWAP, I didn't chase it back down. I probably could have hit it right in here. Whatever. It is what it is. But this was, too.
Oh, just a little side note. I was going back through like the times that I've hit these. Like, man, I haven't hit near as many of these as you, but I had like a 90-something% win rate on this setup.
Dude, gap and crap for me is one of my highest win rate setups, and that's with a 3-1 risk reward.
There's only one time that in the past 2 years I can remember that it really didn't work. There was one I tried to hit last year. I ended up losing like 20% on it. I let it go like way too far, but I don't remember which one it was, but it went like way the hell. It didn't work, but like all the other ones have. And I think it was one that wasn't opening weak enough.
Yeah, and that's where it gets a little tricky. If this one's still open somewhat weak, but with VWAP and pre-market high that close together, I'm gonna have to risk that pre-market high break and hold. But I love the setup. Gap and crap is still top 3 for me, but yeah, it's discretionary as far as how I trade them to a degree, but the risk and the targets are more systematic, and that's based around data. That's where we talk about we're kind of a hybrid between the data and the system. The data has helped me to find the best risk reward based on my comfort level with win rate. I'm not the type of trader that would be comfortable with a 30% win rate. It's just I don't have it in me. It is what it is.
Same here.
I really grab it to the pair, right? No. Yeah, no. So the gap and crap this is a day one gapper. Day one gappers. Oops, let me go back. How is gap and crap different from a para? We're gonna do a video. We're gonna really, really try to do a video on parabolic setups this weekend. We've been talking about it for like a minute now, but we've had a lot
Yeah.
going on, either at our house or vacations, or just we've been busy. We will get a video out. But the quick answer is, so like a gap and crap in my mind and how I consider it a setup for me, it's a day one play. It's a true day one gapper. The parabolics that we talk about, I wonder if I can put it in chat. I'm gonna try, because I show this to people all the time, and I think it's a pretty good visual representation of what a parabolic setup is. And then I'm gonna post it. That's what I want a parabolic to look like. Middle of the day, a whole lot of nothing all morning. Middle of the day, straight up, right back down, closes flat. That's what a
Yep.
parabolic is. That's what we're looking for on parabolics. It's not a day one gapper. It's not a day two. It's not a multi-day runner. It's none of that. Yes, I care about the daily chart, and I'm glad you asked that, because on Pixie and on these gap and craps, yes, I will reference the daily, but I'm more concerned with gap and craps on the intraday chart, not the daily. Not saying I won't reference it, but I'm more concerned with the intraday chart and the pre-market distribution. However, I'm glad you brought that up on the daily, because I have one more thing I'm going to show, and then I'll let you show whatever. Sorry.
No. I was trying to find a good picture of a of like a parabolic.
Oh, okay, good. All right, so this is the AGLE trade, the one I let go against me quite a bit. The reason I even had some conviction, right, for that dollar area was the daily. It has struggled to hold a dollar on a couple of occasions. And on this one here specifically, it struggled to hold a dollar with some significant volume. Now, it looks insignificant compared to the volume it had on this day, but still pretty significant volume, almost 100 million. And it was also trading, started trading at higher prices. So the dollar volume, yeah, it was still kind of far apart, but not terribly far apart. So I had some conviction for the dollar level when I saw the daily. So yes, I definitely the daily on every single trade I make. Definitely did on this one, and that was part of the reason I took that last ad after open to $1 was because of the daily. But on gap and craps, yes, I will reference the daily, but I'm not as concerned about the daily. If that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, we reference the daily. We reference multiple time frames on everything. For me, it's always the intraday chart, a 15 day, 15-minute, an hourly for a year, and then a daily throughout 5 years. I'm looking at those 4 time frames for every single stock I trade, every single time. And each one of those time frames has some form of different indicators, largely all around volume, like the volume profile I keep on the 15-day, 15-minute chart, stuff like that. Pre-market high. Yeah. I'd have to pull it back up to tell you the dollar amount, but I can tell you. Let me see. I still have it. I can pull it back up and just show you. Pixie, where'd you go? Sorry, I'm trying. There it is. Pixie. So, I mean, at this pre-market high, it hit it here. It struggled with it here a couple times. So we don't typically set like a stop right above pre-market high, because they will, that's where we talk about the fake breakouts, where it'll just blitz through those stops and then slam back down. We've seen that move 1,000 times. So that's why we like to say, a break and hold of that level, because then we consider the thesis broken for us, and we're, then we got to get out, which can create some slippage in a sense. But I'm not going to take it off 2 cents above pre-market high and then watch it slam 10 cents instantly 2 seconds later. So hopefully that helped answer your question. Yeah, I mean, they do the pre-market high fake breakout before. Yeah, exactly. So that's why I'm not going to set my stop right at pre-market high or just above it. For us, we like to do the break and holds.
Yeah, I'd say that. I was trying to find a decent picture of a.
Do you set your stop based off technical or dollar risk? You consider cycle and ticker history as significant. Let me answer your first one first. The stop for me is largely based on dollar risk. I position size accordingly. You know, if I'm risking $200 on a trade, if I'm willing to lose $200 on a trade and I'm entering in at, you know, X price and I'm, you know, wanting to get out at Y, then I use a position size calculator, put those two prices in, and it tells me exactly how many shares to locate. So I can keep that dollar risk exactly where I want it. And then I don't have to try to manually calculate out position sizing in my head. That website just pops it out for me and I use it every day. And then you consider cycle and ticker history as significant impact on your size, or only sizing based on your both. We use gap stats every day, which is ticker history. If a ticker has a history of, you know, gapping and failing, I don't know, we've seen some gaps that shit. We've seen some where the gaps, it's like, it'll be like 15 gaps and 100% failure rate. We're going to hit that with some size, especially if it's something in our playbook.
Oh, yeah. That's sort of why I didn't trade PIK today, because it was like a 50-50 on it. That, and I took a ass beating on that thing last year, like 3 days in a row.
Remember you saying that?
Yeah.
That's a good question, though. At some point, I'll see if I can lay in the website thing I use, the position size calculator, because I use it every day. But as far as the stop is based on a technical level in combination with a dollar risk. Like, I'll look at the chart and be like, okay, if it breaks and holds this level, my thesis is broken. And then from that technical level, then I'm calculating out my dollar risk accordingly and letting that position size calculator tell me how many shares to take. So you were risking, say, 350, where, yeah, I hope it wouldn't have went to 350, because I think pre-market high was around, what, 320 on Pixie? 350 would have sucked. I would have hoped the fake breakout would have been quick. If it had got, 330 plus, then I probably would have taken it off. If it had got above 330 plus and held for even a minute or so, yeah, 350 would have, yes, you're right. I'm going around it. 350, yes, worst case scenario, that would have sucked. Yeah. So you don't know if it's truly a gap and crap until it starts to crap. Correct. Can't be a gap and crap until it craps. Could keep going and be a day one non-gap and crap. If it keeps going, yeah, I don't consider that a gap and crap. If it keeps going, then I'm looking for daily resistance levels with volume, aka untapped liquidity, aka bag holders. That's what I'm looking for then. I think it's the same for you, right?
For me, yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
I don't know of any signals to know ahead. It does, and I have one hotkey. I have the ultimate hotkey that I do use sometimes, but I size a little differently on certain setups. I think we hit certain setups a little heavier, so I'd have to have a bigger Stream Deck or multiple to hold all the hotkeys. I have too many hotkeys, but I know, I agree with you on a
Stream Deck, but I need to get one.
Oh, they're fancy.
I was just going to show this real quick. This is probably this is a pretty decent example of a para, which, I mean, ideally, I want to get all the size right here just on that like failed follow through. But I mean, I feel like this is a pretty decent one to show. I like hitting them like that, and then fail through VWAP, and then cover down here at those magic lines.
Yeah, it's a pretty good example of a para. Like, it does a whole lot of nothing. Volume comes in, rips face, and slams right back down. This one had a little bit more of a run up before the para, but
a little more of a run. And we just haven't had we might have had them, but I
I haven't seen any this week that I can recall.
This was one from a while back, and I don't know why this is kind of screwed up, but this one had a lot less volume before. I mean, this is like nothing. You know, you see how light that volume is, and then it was just all of a sudden volume.
Yep.
And this is a name I'd trade for. Yep, and it just slams. I mean, that's what we want them to do. Just go straight up on one big piece of volume and then done.
Yep, instant resolution. And hopefully, if the stars align and we can get our shit together, or kids don't go crazy or whatever, we can actually do a video on parabolics.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping for.
Right. We'll get it. Do y'all teach setups anywhere? Would love to see your stats. So we have some videos, older videos where we talk about some set. I think we had one where we talked about gap and crap specifically, or daily levels. We're about to do one with parabolics. We have we have a Discord room with some people where we talk about setups and trading and data tracking, and we try to lay out as much knowledge and information as we can. To be completely honest with you, I've never laid out exact criteria for a setup, and I think you and I have talked about that a lot.
I mean, there's some good guys in there though that have, like Biz. He's laid out some really good long setup strategies and like exactly how he'd play them and risk them. And I've seen some of that in the room.
Yeah, and I'm willing to do that with gap and craps too, because they're pretty cut and dry. And even parabolics, like I don't mind doing stuff like that. I'm always torn about it. I work so damn hard for that.
Absolutely, man. You are more than welcome to join. We will just DM me or Craig on Twitter or whatever, and we'll send you a link.
True that. Oh, and while I'm thinking about it, you got another chart to show. Shit. You got another chart to show?
Yeah.
I know you didn't trade much this week.
Yeah, man. I had 2 winners and a loser. And by the way, it's free. We're not.
Yeah. We ain't doing free room. This link real quick here. That's the position size calculator I use. If you go into the website, it's got directions how to use it. If you have questions, ask us. Also, we did a video on that at 1.2 about risk and how we use it. But anyway.
That was my long on AGLE.
God, you longed it where I shorted it. Y'all see this? He's supposed to be my boy, my partner.
I wasn't texting you back quick enough.
I'm just messing with you.
I mean, shoot, I wasn't like super. I mean, ideally, I should have longed like this, but I just hit it because I was like, man, I think it's. I just had a feeling it was going to go to $1.
I did too. After I got more size on, I was like, it's going higher, and sure enough, it ripped. Yeah, Sellers is a rare breed. He can actually long and short, and then you have people like me that I don't have a single long hotkey on my Stream Deck. But this guy, he just does it all. Longs them, shorts them, longs and shorts some of them the same day. Same ticker.
I like to do that the most, but I can't always, Usually,
I can't do that.
I mean, I try to. I'll have to call them back. I like to do it like this.
There it is. Timothy Pikes, ladies and gentlemen. You can trade from anywhere.
That's how you have to trade right there.
Look at that.
That's the best way to trade. Yeah, Tim Sykes commented on this, and he was like, you need to get a better watch. I was like, all right, then. All right, buddy.
Yeah, he ain't got no waterproof laptop, though. Tell him that.
That's right. That's what I said. I was like, whatever, dude.
This is awesome.
Yeah,
so
man, I just
he spilled no beer, but you said it was done before you even got in the water, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, because before I got in the water, what else did I do with it? I got in the sand with it, man. I was like, whatever. I just felt like doing that. Sometimes you just want to do something dumb. And I just knew that Tim Sykes would love it.
Could have been bad if you split that beer on your lap. Yeah, that'd have been a problem. The sand ain't a problem, the water ain't a problem, but beer on your laptop, that's what'll do it.
I'm telling you, man, like you can't be spilling beer. You just can't lose the beer, you know?
Right.
I man, yeah,
That was
that
funny.
yeah, before I did that, I did this. Let's see here. I did this.
I think I saw this one too. That's so awesome. Trade from anywhere, folks. Living the dream life.
Yeah, I was like, hey, I was telling my wife, I was like, take a picture of me with this laptop in the sand.
People probably like, what is this dude doing?
Oh yeah, dude. There wasn't a whole lot of people out there on the beach that day, but they were looking at me and like some like kids were like pointing and laughing. I was like,
Oh, have recently got very tattooed. Yeah, I can. If you can DM me on Twitter, if you have Twitter, and then you could DM me on Twitter, I could send you because they're all coded into. For me, they're coded into DOS. I don't know what you use. If that's what you're asking, if you're legit wanting the codes, if you're just looking for like what kind of keys I have, it's kind of a mixture. I got, short X amount of size with limit orders. I got cover 50, 75, 100%. I got a GTFO button, which I think everybody should have. Like, just get the F out.
I got a hotkey on my keyboard for that. I got one on my laptop for that too.
And then I got some hotkeys specifically for tickers when they're on SSR, because you got to short the upticks. And then I have a couple hotkeys for lines, like so I can hit the hotkey and it automatically prompts my mouse to start drawing lines for me, whether it's horizontal or ray lines. Then I got a cancel order one. So I mean, I don't know. I know if you DM me on Twitter, I can send you the codes, or I can send you a picture so you can see what it looks like. I'd say I'd take a picture of it now and post it, but I don't know how I'd do that and get it on here quick enough.
That thing is cool. It's pretty. I like it.
Yeah, I love it. It's just a nice visual. If I could take a picture of it now and post it, I would. I just don't know how to do that. Anyway, do you have another trade to show?
Yeah, I got a loser. Let's see.
Hell yeah, that's what I want. That's it. That's what I want to see.
Yeah. And unfortunately, this is probably the one I sized the most on. This one, AHI.
Pre-market, man, it's the devil.
Yeah, I know. And I'm like,
you trade pre-market better than me, though. You way better. I suck at pre-market trading. It's just not I'm not good at it.
I drew a line right here, like a horizontal line, and I was like, I got the hotkey going. I was like, I'm gonna smack it right here. I was like, oh damn it! And I added a little more and then cut it. And I was like, this thing's topping out, and so I shorted some more, and the volume looked a lot bigger then, before this.
Yeah.
And in hindsight, I definitely should have been covering when it was opening at VWAP. I don't know what I was thinking, but I was also out of town and,
having a good time.
Yeah, man. I just stopped out right there before I think it halted. Actually, I know it halted because I was watching the level two. The time and sales was all red.
We got to do that at some point too. Take a dang video of level 2 so we can show what that. Now we have, we talked about that because for a long time we were seeing those fake halts and slams, but I haven't been seeing that lately. It's like that euphoria there lasted for like a couple weeks and then it disappeared.
Yeah, maybe like a couple weeks, maybe like a month or so, but yeah, I haven't been seeing that.
Oh, this is for you, big dog.
Let's see here. Let's see. You're talking about the trade on AGLE?
Probably, because that was your long.
Yeah, I mean, ideally on that one, I should have waited for that little pullback, but sometimes I do that, sometimes like I'll get a little more on when it's in that pullback. Uh, it just depends, really. It depends on what I'm, if I'm trading it like there was one from a few weeks ago where it was making like it was like a little volume burst and then like a low volume pullback, and it's not breaking down, and then I'm hitting the long there. I'm not the best tape reader, but I'll consider levels on the chart. Ideally, a great long would be like a week open pullback to like a pre-market high and hit it there. Just kind of like a support level, like you would be for the resistance short. So it's like the same thing, but in reverse is pretty much what I'm looking for. But like on some of the longs, I'm looking for something to not break down and maybe have a small little pullback, and then I'm hitting it there. And then other times I'm hammering it into strength. Just if I feel like it's got that much strength and that much go power. It's definitely a lot of discretion goes into my long-sided trading. I don't know. I mean, I feel like I'm decent with it. I prefer to hit something short, but it's like sometimes you can see the setup, and so like with AGLE, I had a feeling it was going higher, and I felt like $1 was such a good, mental level that probably a lot of people had in mind, which that would have worked out great for the short. Like I said, ideally I should have hit this little pullback. This isn't the best example. This is just kind of a lucky trade, but the way it held up here, if something like this right here had happened during market hours, that would have been something I was wanting to short. But because it was pre-market, that's kind of what gave me the conviction, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, you're 1,000 times better at longing than I am, that's for sure.
But that AHI trade was so obviously not a short. I don't know. I was just eager to short it, I guess. I had a trade from today that was a long, and this is an example of when I was kind of pounding into like the strength, like I wasn't. I didn't wait for a pullback, and all it was here was just the percentage it was up. I don't remember what the news was, but after I saw it breach that original high, I was trying to get in as quick as I could, with the orders in pre-market, but I was thinking this thing, it looked like it could go to about 3. So I just got in here and got out here. That's all it was. And I mean, I like a long like that, where there's not much sweating. If it had started to fail at all right here, I would have been done. Yeah, I would have been out. Sometimes they work out like that, sometimes they don't. But I wish I had a good picture of. Maybe we can do a video on longs. Wish I had
No, I'm kidding.
Hey, I mean, here's one. This is a good example of a low volume pullback. This is from a few weeks ago. This is actually pretty much textbook. This is how I want them to be for a long. That little pullback right there.
That's a good one. Right off. Held VWAP too.
Yeah, it's holding VWAP off open. It's a little. I don't remember what the gap percentage was.
Volume was high on this thing too, almost a mil a minute.
Yeah, it had a lot of volume, and this is the kind of thing that I would have gotten hammered on the short side 2 years ago. I would have been shorting into this, thinking it's a fake breakout, whatever, and it had more gas in it. You know what I mean?
Had a lot more. That's a good trade.
Thanks, man. Yeah, this is how I want to hit longs, because there wasn't much question for me about it. If it had a big fail on volume, I mean, I'd be out, even if it was failing on volume around VWAP, I still would have had to be out just because the way I sized it there,
Yep.
So yeah, I like longs like that. And it's harder. I will say for me, it's harder for me to know where to scale out. And I've had so many longs in the past year or so that I would overstay my welcome, thinking I'd have a resistance in mind, like I'd short this resistance. So I'm thinking so I can long and sell into this resistance. So it'll be like a top tick sell, but then it doesn't work out. So on my longs, I'm usually trying to scale out like fairly quick. I mean, just because it is small caps, we know they're shitty, but you can still make money on both sides if you want to.
Yep.
I guess that answers the question decently. I know it's not the best answer, but it's sometimes hard for me to put into words exactly what I'm looking for. That little thread that Thiz did in our room, I'd recommend anybody that comes into the room, like we said, anybody's welcome. Just hit us up. Go to the pinned messages in the main trading floor. Thiz did a amazing write up on that, and I mean it's exactly what you're looking for on longs. Like some people call them, there's like A, B, C, D pattern, whatever. I mean it's pretty simple. I've tried to put some of it into words. I've pinned some of what I think, but he did a really good job of it. You and him are both well spoken. I'm not the most well spoken, especially when it comes to explaining some of my setups, but I'm trying to get better about it.
No, I thought that was eloquently spoken.
Yeah.
That was
Oh, yeah.
All right. So a couple more I was going to show, and this is just more so in regards to like market adaptation, right? Like you and I, for a while, for a good month, we're catching those fake halt and slams. Oh, let me see.
Was that one today? I feel like I saw that one. I didn't trade it.
That's one that I saw Elkwood talking about.
I think that one has a bill market cap.
I can't remember. I didn't trade today, but I feel like I saw people talking about APLD. If it's what I think it is, this is the company that used to do like film and then Bitcoin stuff and then AI and then this and then that. And they've been all over the place, like the most ridiculous stuff. And then I think the news on them today was something about their CEO and sexual harassment or something. The usual small cap effery that we call.
I'm about to see what their market cap is.
I think it went down today if it's the ticker I'm thinking of. All right, let me pull up a couple more here. So market adaptation, we try to continually adapt to the market. That's why we do data tracking. And, you sit at the desk every day, you start seeing stuff. That's how we started to see the fake halts, and we started catching some of those. And those were major. I think, all right, when you pull it up, I'm pretty sure that's the one I'm thinking of, APLD, the one that has had a crazy run, but today slammed down on the news from the CEO or some high-ranking dude in the company. Like, I don't know. I saw something about it today. Elkwood on Twitter, he's always hunting for these companies that are super sketchy, and he shorts the shit out of them, and he usually crushes it.
Oh, yeah.
I think he was talking about that today. Anyway, so something I've been having success with for a couple years, like these reverse splits, right? These piece of crap companies, they do reverse splits. The strategy for me used to be pretty simple. I would short them on reverse split day. I would cover like a week later. I would make money all the time. However, lately, that hasn't worked. Now they've been reverse splitting and then popping pretty significantly before the inevitable fade. So I have adapted a bit better to that, right? Because we have to continually adapt, because what works now might not work later on. But this is a prime example, right? It was trading at about 50 cents a share. The reverse split. This was a massive reverse split, because then it opened at around 550. And as you can see, it chopped around and then spiked up big. This was a big move. This is a 100% move from 5 to 10. This is huge. So this is what they've been doing more so. They will reverse split. and usually within the first day or two, pop. This was a huge pop. They don't usually pop this much. Pop. I actually got involved in this after hours when it did this move, and then it started just dying. I think I got in right in that first after hour session right there. As you can see, I held for about a week, and this was a solid trade. It got to the point though where, well, you can kind of see what I'm going off of just based on this line, but it got where I wanted. The liquidity, the volume, liquidity, whatever, was seriously drying up. So when I start to see it seriously dry up like this, I then get worried about more of a low volume push. So as soon as the market opened on the 21st, which was a couple days ago, I just covered. But
that was a good trade, man.
Yeah, this was solid. This was one of my better swings I've had in a while. But this was a reverse split pop short, boom. And then, and these have been presenting themselves pretty frequently.
Yeah, dude, Charles kills those.
He does. He caught ATIP. That was I think on Tuesday when my power was all messing up. He caught ATIP, and I was like, yeah, if I'd have been there, I'd have tried to catch it. But this was another one that I did not swing. But this was another one. This was a reverse split day, another reverse split and huge pop. Caught him, covered, and as soon as I covered, it instantly jumped up and failed. So I reshorted again and then caught one last little flush. The reason I didn't swing this is this thing was super low volume. I mean, the highest candle here wasn't even 200,000 shares.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to swing anything that's trading that low volume, whereas that other reverse split was trading buku volume, and I was completely fine shorting that or swinging that. But dude, these reverse split pops have just been money. Like,
I've got to get into those. I mean, it's low stress.
It used to be you could just literally short on reverse split day, hold for a week, get paid. It ain't working like that anymore. Now that, I mean, that's two right there. Two this week that have reverse split and popped 100%. So if you get short after the reverse split happens, that thing is jetting. Then you're going to take a fat loss. So I've been watching them. I keep them on a side monitor. I put a few alarms on them. When they start popping, I start looking. And I fortunately caught them both. But and I put this in the room too. Some of my better wins over the past few months have been those reverse split pop shorts.
Absolutely.
Market adaptation. So again, somebody tells me the market's slow. I'm going to tell them F off. It's slower, right, than it was in fall or winter. I get that, but it ain't slow.
No, it's not slow.
You want to see slow, go look at 2009 and 10. That was slow and shitty. But anyway.
I wouldn't know, man.
Yeah, you were still like in school or some shit.
Yeah, I was in high school then.
Anyway, I don't have any. Do you have more trades to show? That's all I had.
Nah, man, I only traded like 3 stocks this week.
Yeah, you were traveling, putting laptops in the stuff.
Yeah, man.
Shit. All right, well, we're creeping up on an hour. This went by incredibly fast.
It really did.
Damn, that did go by fast. But we ain't done one in a while, so we had a lot to get out.
Put it all out there.
Yeah, but this weekend, seriously, we're aiming to do a parabolic setup video finally, and that's gonna be you for the most part. That's the seller's favorite setup is parabolic.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, that's his thing.
I hate it. So, I haven't been able to. I mean, there hasn't been that many, and I haven't hit that many in a while.
Yeah, this week was pretty dry on the Parascans. I mean, there's been stuff to trade, but parabolics haven't really been present like that, especially not the ones we're looking for specifically. But yes, we'll do a video hopefully this weekend. Put it out hopefully this weekend. And yeah, that's all I have.
That's all I
need to
got,
make
man.
I need to make a liquid beverage run.
Yeah, man. I just got a text from my wife. They're wanting to go out to eat at Nick's
Mexican.
Sticks. It's like a
Oh.
country ass steakhouse here in Tuscaloosa.
All right. Well, same as always. Appreciate y'all. Hopefully I think we answered all the questions. If we didn't, then hit us up. Ooh, did you put the Discord link in the thing?
No, I haven't. Oh, and also, I was gonna mention this. We at some point, you know, if somebody wants to come on here with us, be on the video, you know, just hit us up.
Appreciate you, Ricky.
Have like you know, some
A
guests,
panel discussion, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you have a microphone of any sorts and a camera of any sorts, or technically a cell phone,
Yeah.
we can send you said link, and yeah, you can just jump on and we can talk shit. You can tell me how bad my AGLE trade was, or ask whatever question or whatever you want to do. One of these days, we're going to have Jet on here. He's a guy in our room. He is hilarious, and I would love to hear him talk.
Yeah, I want to have Jet on here. I really want to have Fizz and Jet at the same time. I think that'd be hilarious.
They have a lot to say to one another. They're very conflicting styles. Anyway, we'll just leave it to the imagination.
Yeah.
One day, though. One day.
I want to have Sam on here too one day. Sam's our boy. He's our famous friend.
He is our famous friend. Sam is a big time. I mean, he's big, but he's also big time. Like he's up there in the trading world.
Yeah. We're just
all right.
Some peons.
Yeah. Just a couple guys trying to make it.
That's right.
Hour is upon us. Appreciate all the questions, the comments, the activity, all that stuff. You know, if there's questions or further comments or questions, just hit us up on Twitter. Our names are right there.
That's right.
Or hit us up on Twitter for the Discord thing, because it's not just like open. You got to hit us up. We slide you an invite. You pop in.
And that's just, I mean, like we said, you know, it's free, but we're really just doing that. We don't want a bunch of like spam and bullshit in there, like fake, you know, not real accounts. I mean, because, you know, some of these people that put their Discord out there that run free Discords, you wind up with a bunch of, I mean,
you wind up with the Goblin Gang.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. Yep. No offense to Fizz, that's our buddy.
Oh no, he's a real one. He just was in a bad spot, bad situation, but yeah, he's a real one. He's a phenomenal trader too.
He is, man. Yeah, he's one of the high points of our room. We're lucky to have him in there and sharing some knowledge with us. He's good.
Got a couple killers in there, a couple guys with a lot of insight. Cook CL's in there. He offers a lot of great insight. There's some good.
Yeah, he's just a super smart guy. Lives right down the road from me. Whenever Charles comes in, I'm going to try to get him to give some more insight to his setups. He's a really good trader.
Yeah, for real. All right. I know you're trying to go eat. I got to go to the store. We're at an hour. Appreciate y'all. We don't want to keep people here all day long. Like, comment, share, subscribe, etc., etc. If you have questions, hit us up. Preferably on Twitter, because that's where we are the most active. But, you know, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, all the things.
That's right.
That's all I got.
That's all I got, man.
All right. Outro time.
That's right. Peace.